No, this isn't the Philippines. It's Hunstanton, which probably isn't where you'd expect a travel update to begin. But then again, neither is the story behind this trip.
A few months ago, I genuinely didn't believe I'd be travelling anywhere this year. Back in January, I had a few financial commitments that needed dealing with. And if I'm honest, I thought travel was going to have to wait. I was disappointed, but I accepted it. Sometimes life gets in the way of the things you'd like to do, and something unexpected happened. Work started offering a lot of overtime. At first, I just saw it as a chance to get on top of those financial commitments. But after a while, I realised something. If I was prepared to put the extra hours in, maybe I didn't have to choose between being sensible and travelling. Maybe I could do both. And it wasn't just a trip. The extra income also gave me the opportunity to stop talking about starting a YouTube channel and actually start one. So whilst this trip might look like it suddenly appeared, the truth is, it's been built one overtime shift at a time, one late finish, one Sunday at work, one bank holiday spent working instead of relaxing.
And somehow, I've gone from thinking I wasn't travelling this year to having flights booked to China and the Philippines. Which brings me to this week, because over the last few days, something's changed. The flights are booked. The hotel in Beijing is booked. Most of my route through the Philippines is planned. I bought some new camera gear, and for the first time, this trip feels real. So the main destination has always been the Philippines. I've been lucky enough to visit a few countries over the last few years, but there's something about the Philippines that keeps pulling me back. Every time I leave, I feel like there are still stories I haven't experienced, places I haven't explored, people I haven't met. So when I started planning this trip, the Philippines was always going to be the focus. China actually came afterwards. The reason I'm spending 3 nights in Beijing is pretty simple. When I started looking for flights, most of the best options connected through Beijing anyway. Most people would probably spend 4 hours sitting in the airport waiting for the next flight. I thought, if I'm already there, why not actually see a bit of China? I've never been before, and I've always wanted to stand on the Great Wall. It's been one of those places that's been on my list for years. 3 nights isn't enough to experience everything China has to offer, I know that. But it's enough to get my first taste of the country, to experience a completely different culture, to see if it's somewhere I'd like to come back to properly one day. And if I'm honest, I'd probably have stayed longer. I originally asked work if I could take 5 weeks off. Unfortunately, they only approved 4. And with everything I wanted to do in the Philippines, something had to give. China drew the short straw, but I have a feeling it won't be my last visit. Another thing that's happened this week is that I've started upgrading my filming gear. Now, I'd love to tell you every purchase was part of some carefully thought out business strategy. But let's be honest, I'm a 45-year-old bloke who likes technology. So yes, these are investments in the channel, but they're also new toys. And I don't think there's anything wrong with admitting that. The first thing I bought was the DJI Pocket 3. One thing I've realised over the last few months is that the type of videos I enjoy making are changing. I do a lot more walking and talking to the camera, trying to bring you along with me rather than sitting indoors talking about somewhere I've already been. The problem is, I've been filming most of these shots on my phone. Now every step creates a little bounce. I've relied quite a lot on CapCut to smooth things out afterwards. It definitely helps, but it never completely gets rid of it. So I'm hoping the Pocket 3 gives me smoother footage straight out of the camera. Less time trying to fix things in editing, more time telling the story. I've also bought the DJI Mini 4K drone. I've already got my DJI Neo and I genuinely love flying it, but the Mini gives me more options. Longer flight times, better image quality, and it handles the wind much better. And having 2 drones means I can choose the right one depending on what I'm filming. The Neo is brilliant for quick fun action shots, and the Mini should be perfect for those bigger cinematic landscapes, especially somewhere like Palawan. And yes, the DJI Action 4 will definitely be joining them in November as well.
Apparently I've discovered that buying camera equipment is now one of my favourite hobbies. People sometimes ask how I'm managing to do all this. The simple answer is, it's keeping me busy. Monday to Friday I'm working my normal job. Most evenings I'm editing shorts, uploading them across all my social media, replying to your comments, planning new videos and trying to improve with every upload. Saturday's basically become filming day. That's when I get out the cameras, film the next video and spend the rest of the day editing so it's ready for Sunday. Then Sunday, I'm usually back working overtime, 5 or 6 hours most weeks. And if there's a bank holiday, there's a pretty good chance I'm working that as well. Now, I'm not saying that to complain. Quite the opposite. I chose this because every overtime shift gets me closer to another trip. Every video teaches me something new. And every week, this channel grows just a little bit more.
I didn't notice this until I got home and started editing. Keep your eye on the sea behind me. Yep, that's the tide coming in.
And let that be an active lesson for everyone. I was literally filming all the way over there. So about there, where you can see the water and the seagulls just in front, that's where I was filming just a moment ago. 1 minute I was happily filming and the next minute I could feel water around my legs and I literally had to get out of there very quickly. So don't take the sea for granted.
Fortunately, all the expensive stuff stayed dry. The towel, not so much. It's a good job I'm going to the Philippines and not filming a survival documentary. Anyway, where was I?
One thing I have realised whilst planning this trip though, is that I don't actually want to film every minute of it. Of course I want to make great videos. That's the whole point of buying better equipment. But I also want to enjoy being there. Sometimes I want to put the camera away, sit in the beach bar with a beer, watch a sunset, have a conversation with someone I'll probably never ever see again. Because those moments matter too. Sometimes the best memories aren't the ones that end up on YouTube. At the end of the day, I'm just an ordinary bloke. I work a normal job. I save for my trips. I work overtime to pay for them. Then I spend my evenings trying to turn those experiences into videos that hopefully people will enjoy watching. I'm not rich, I'm not a full-time traveller. I'm just an ordinary guy searching for extraordinary situations. Whether that's standing on the Great Wall of China, watching the sunset somewhere in the Philippines, meeting people I'd never have met if I stayed at home, or simply proving to myself that life doesn't have to look exactly the same every single day. And that's what this channel is really about. And that's why this week feels different. Because after months of planning, months of wondering whether this trip was even going to happen, it's finally becoming real. The flights are booked, the hotel is booked, the route is taking shape, and the new gear is arriving. The countdown has officially started. And honestly, I can't wait to share every step of the journey with you. If you've been to either China or the Philippines, let me know in the comments what's the one thing you think I absolutely shouldn't miss. And if you're new here, welcome to the journey, because this is just the beginning.
One final update. Apparently, an hour in the British sun is enough for me to get sunburnt. So 4 weeks in the Philippines is going to be interesting. Final reminder to everyone in the UK and anyone travelling, pack sunscreen.